announcement regards the slides that you will be seeing tonight. They are the intellectual property of our presenter. They will not be distributed or posted. Please refrain from taking snapshots of the slides unless the presenter states you may take a photo of this slide. This session is being recorded and the video will be posted to the District 38 YouTube site after the event, once it is edited and presentable for the public. I will email everyone who registered for the event with a link for the video. If you have questions, please put a Q at the beginning in chat to start your question so that we know that that is a question. Now that we've covered the business part of it, we're going to move on. And it is my great pleasure to begin with. Do you want greater response for your communication, marketing, and promotional efforts? And fresh ideas to revitalize your club and boost membership? This special workshop, I missed something. Get ready to learn tried and proven tips to apply to your outreach online and in print. This special workshop, you will learn 3 types of readers.
You're okay. Keep going.
All right, 3 types of readers and 3 stages of how they read. Understand what design elements are best placed where in the layout and why. And view samples of flyers and posters with design makeovers. Our presenter is a subject matter expert in this field and freely shares over 45 years of professional experience in marketing, plus nearly 4 decades of Toastmasters membership. Sheryl Roush has owned 5 graphic design studios, received 4 Toastmasters International Awards for newsletters, and has published 5 books on this topic. Her solid gold newsletter design illustrated book created for Toastmasters, then became a course book at the University of Ottawa in Canada. Sheryl is the author of the International Book Awards Best Anthology for Heart of a Toastmaster, showcasing 135 members globally sharing their true short stories. A member since 1987, she has been a brand ambassador for Toastmasters since prior to our brand refresh in 2011. Sheryl is the youngest female of 95 in 148 countries to earn Toastmasters accredited speaker designation for professionally speaking. CEO of Sparkle Presentation, she was a sponsor for our Bahamas convention last year and our Anaheim convention this year. With effectively marketing your club in this Market Like a Pro session, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster, Sheryl Roush.
Woo! First of all, happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear Toastmasters. Happy 100th birthday to us. Yay! Today's the day. Woo! Wowee! Wow. How many times have you been able to be part of a centennial celebration? Wow, wow, wow. Well, and it's fascinating too that of all the dates that could have been selected, and thank you very much, Ann Golden, for helping to arrange and facilitate this very special session, it seems to have come full circle because when I joined Toastmasters 37, 38 years ago, and already being a person in marketing that I get to share that information with you tonight. So may we continue for another 100 years, especially using the information that I'll share with you tonight, because you'll never look at a piece ever the same way again. You'll never design a piece ever the same way again either. Those tried and proven techniques, no kidding, they really are. Make sure to download the handout. Matter of fact, watch the chat box, as Ann had already said. because we're going to be putting some valuable information in there and we're going to keep the conversation going. So download the handout now. We'll be coming to it in just a minute. So let's start lighting up the chat now. Why did you join Toastmasters? And as you are lighting up the chat, I'm going to be watching what you are saying here. Yay, why did you join? Whether somebody told you to or you decided that you wanted to join on your own. So why did you join? Why did you join Toastmasters? Who originally invited you? Great. To meet people at your company. Great. Thank you. Thanks, Karen. To enhance your speaking career. Oh, interesting. Great. Thanks, Allison. All right. To develop more confidence. Pamela, I relate to that. Self-confidence is the number one reason why people join, by the way. To advance our club. Great. To get better at impromptu speaking. Thanks, Bonnie. To become a stronger communicator. That you're, Ryan, I relate to this. I resemble your remark that being very introverted and you wanted to stop the anxiety when it comes to school presentations, to become a better speaker at work. Joshua, thank you. Griselle, thank you. To improve your confidence when speaking English. So English may be your second, third, fourth, or 20th language. Wow, this is a fantastic place to practice too. As a dare, raise your hand if yep, raise as a dare you joined. All right, to reduce jitters, thanks. To improve your English and to find a social platform to connect with society. Oh, that's beautiful, Ben. Thank you. All right, John, to improve the sales for your companies in the industrial markets. That's very specific in what you're doing. So you can speak effectively and succinctly. I love it. To prepare for a presentation at a mentoring program at work. To be, thanks, Rosemary. Good to have you here again. To be a confident speaker. All of these. So here's why I ask, is because whatever the reasons were that we joined, someone else needs to join for the same reasons. And we need to find them. We need to be like a lighthouse and shining a beacon. So for instance, here's my short story that I was introducing myself at a breakfast network meeting. And I'm sure I stumbled over myself because this wonderful lady came over to me afterward and she asked me, oh, tell me more about you and what do you do? And I own a graphic design studio. And well, what are your greatest challenges? And oh my gosh, giving my employees feedback because I'm the youngest in my office and I want to be professional and respectful. And she asked me a few more questions. She was really paying attention to what I was saying were my challenges. We need to do that more often, by the way. We really need to listen instead of jumping into the conversation and saying, oh, you need Ghostbusters, almost strangling them. Yeah, I know, we've been there. All right, I have to. Instead, she said, well, you might be interested in an 8-week communication skills series that's starting, and it was within a couple of weeks. And I'll even buy you breakfast. Breakfast? What time does this meeting start? 7 o'clock. Well, in the morning? What? Well, and it required me getting up 2 to 3 hours early just to get through San Diego traffic to get to this Mexican restaurant. And I walked through the doors that morning on March 19th, 1987, into a speechcraft series. So if you're wanting, if open house or speechcraft or demonstration meetings or introductory meetings really work, yes, they do. And I am here as a testament that speechcraft helps recruit potential members for us and that, yes, we do stay 38 years later. So there you go. Well, then why would we want to have a program such as this tonight in marketing our clubs? And please start thinking of people not as visitors, but as potential members. Let's do some switching right there in the mindset. If we took a look at right now, what is our meeting math? We typically have 15 meeting roles. That would be a meeting, even an hour long with 3 short presentations, 3 speakers without overlap. And by that, that means that the speaker doesn't evaluate themselves nor count their own odds. Yeah, we've done that too. Plus, you could have a Zoom master if it's hybrid or virtual. So right now, what's our math? 16 people minimum present, 16 present. Plus, we want to have people who participate in table topics again without the overlap, and remember to have guests potential members at each meeting because we want a larger audience, which helps us to build our confidence and get great feedback. That means we're looking at 20 to 25 people attending our meetings. Take a deep breath. That's our number. And let's take a look at what is a healthy membership. Because according to our mission, our charter, 20 is that number for community clubs. What's recommended by Pat Johnson, past international president, is 25 where they are employee programs inside of corporations. And the languaging in her handbook also educates us that not to call them clubs because it sounds social. We are a personal and professional development educational organization. Even though we are nonprofit, that's what we're about. So more members, you know it, more creativity, more energy, more accomplishments. So please write that down on your handout. 20 is charter strength, which means at all times that we have 20 people on our club roster. We even have an open house incentive right now. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this slide. I did pull it from District 38, your website, because the open house incentive is that within 30 days of the event, but no later than May 15th of next year, that you provide certain documents to the district and that you could be entitled to district dollars and rewards, pretty much like a reimbursement. So take advantage of that. I'll also give you some additional ideas of how to really leverage when you do an event such as an open house. Our global incentive, our centennial pledge, if you will, was proposed to us, right, at the International Convention in Anaheim by Roddy Spear. And that is to bring at least one guest with you to a club meeting before December 31st. Here we are on the day that is Toastmasters Day, October 22nd, to bring at least one member before December 31st. That's her challenge for us to bring that to be the spark. I challenge us to bring at least one guest to every meeting, at least invite a guest, a potential member, to each of our club meetings before the end of the year. Because all of our clubs globally, we have seen this, we have seen the numbers that post-COVID, we are still rebuilding our organization. So take the challenge and challenge yourself to bring even more than one guest. All right, so on the front page of the handout in the bottom left-hand corner, please write down marketing is what and pop it into the chat. I want to see what you say. All right, so marketing is what? How would you define it? We have a couple of PRMs here from a couple of districts, so let's see what your responses are. Marketing is what? In general, what is it? Come on, talk to me. What's marketing? Communication of a vision. Thank you. You still wearing your earrings? Okay, let's see. Tailoring, creating a message to a specific audience. Oh, there you go. One of our PRMs chiming in. How to article a brand. Article a brand. How to that I think I know what you mean. All right, marketing is educating others. Exactly. Publishing with intention or specific purpose. Articulate. Thank you. How to articulate a brand. Okay, I got it. All right, all of these are correct. Go ahead and keep adding more in. What is marketing? What is marketing? Yep, there you go. Sharing the value of a product or service. Thank you. All right, because I believe as it relates to us today, it's getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. So it could be go ahead and capture a screenshot of this slide if you like, that getting the word out that we are the solution to their problem, their challenge, their issue, or the desired outcome. Remember when I asked you that why did you join Toastmasters? That was your desired outcome. Everyone else with whom we meet who doesn't know about our global organization, we're in 150 countries right now, that they just don't know about us and how we can help them to accomplish their desired outcome. We are the solution to that. In Toastmasters, we also have a couple of different markets. So let's take a look at each one of them. The very first of the two are referred to as internal. This is our current members. It's you and I. That's why we are here tonight and why we're inside the organization. We're internal. But number two, and where our focus will be for this special workshop, is external. Again, those potential new members. All right, so what does that look like? Because we need to match the message to that audience. If it's internal, it's a different languaging, different perspective than it is if it is external. All right, here's an example for this presentation designed by Ann Golden. Thank you very much. And it follows the format that I'll be sharing with you tonight, where there's a question up at the top of the desired outcome. That's exactly where it goes. Take it in bold italic font, put it up in the headline, and that's going to grab people's attention. Notice that the Toastmaster logo is not up there. It's down at the bottom because it has more drive and gets a greater response by naming the pane up at the top. I'll go into more details later, but in a nutshell, that's it. That's it. All right, so here we have everything that you need to know about this session internal. This was marketed internally in Toastmasters International, and I'm going to say through our global districts as well, but we're all members on this. So we have to match the message to the internal. What if it's external? We need to, again, match the message to that audience. Please, that is a critical core concept of what will make your marketing effective or not, is does it match the message to that particular reader? If it's internal, if it's external, and all of this translates and transfers into any product, service, event, anything that you want to promote. And so do the tried and proven concepts of what goes where and why. Now that we've taken a look at who our identified two markets are, then let's pull back. This is my copyrighted intellectual material. Then I'll give you permission to take a couple of slides, a couple of photos on a couple of slides. But marketing communication, if we don't meet our readers where they are, we miss the mark. So it's important to remember about the internal or external. Let me show you what I mean. This is a sample of an actual poster. We're going to break it down a little bit to make these points. Notice how it has a club logo in the upper left-hand corner, which is an abbreviation of the club name. Clubs may not, districts may not have a logo. That's in our branding policy. Stay with me on this as we follow through. So let's start by replacing that logo, and let me have you do some counting. Count the usage of how many times the words, names, anything that's really the phrase, the logo, anything that's related to the club, not the intended reader. These could be words including us, we, our, and, such as a logo. And then to compare that ratio of about us versus about them, they're looking for the what's in it for me and is it relevant? All right, ready? Let's do some counting. First, we're going to shift that logo. So there's one about us. In the larger print, at the club name, there's two. We take pride, that's 3. In our, that's 4. Comprehensive evaluations that help our, that's 5. You stand with me? Develop the confidence and ability to speak in any situation. That part sounds good though, right? We, there's 6, are passionate about helping others accomplish their public speaking goals. And we go, okay, so that's 6. Oh, us. All right, so that's 7. And then how we can help you lever up. All right, so that's too many. Now let's go in green and how many things are about them. Well, they mention other. Okay, there. Okay, now it's about them and help you. That's 3. So what was that, 8 to 3? That's often. What it needs to be is called reader-centered. If we pause and really look at the text that we're putting into the comment for a social media post and what actually goes into the poster and start reframing it, change that ratio so it's more about them, what's in it for them, we will see dramatic response in anything that we are promoting. There's more. So there's a big golden nugget right there to be reader-centered. Here again, go ahead and count. This time, probably down to where the megaphones are. How many times is it about us? Well, join us for an open house. And people do not know what an open house is because it refers to real estate and houses, and they expect cookies freshly baked out of the oven to be there. That's what they're thinking. It's not in mass education or mindset of an open house is a demonstration meeting. So we're going to take a look at potentially reframing that to gain confidence and find your voice. Okay, that's great. The name of the club there is not in Toastmaster branding, so that would count for the us factor. The balloons, that's us. They have no idea. What is homecoming? Has no idea. Join us at our open house. Blah, 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 blah. The most important part about this poster is the smallest print on the poster. Halfway, it's below halfway down. Do you get nervous when speaking in public? That needs to be made front and center and up at the top. All right. Would you like to see a makeover? Yeah. Do you want to see how easy this is to tweak? Yes. Good. Thank you. All right. Here's the makeover. And all I did was cut and paste and pull things shifted around. Do you get nervous when speaking in public? Question mark. And then the bullet points. This is great because they're going through this as if it's a tick mark of, yes, I need that. I need that. I need that. I need that. Oh, and I can gain confidence and find okay. Then the date, then the information. And I've changed the name of the club into one of our new branding fonts. Everything else there, usually when I look at graphics, it's not a, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Let's scrap it and start over. It's not, it's a tweak. And this was a tweak. I refer to it as the pyramid of priority of where things need to be placed. Yeah, you try saying that. Pyramid of priority of where things need to be placed. There you go. All right. So then let's move over on to page 2 inside of your handout, and let's look at what goes where and why. So let's break it down because there are 3 types of readers according to the American Library Association. So I realize that we do have fellow members attending tonight this workshop from other countries. Thank you very much. So I'm quoting the American Library Association. We'll take a look at who are our readers, and there's 3 percentages. 10 to 15% are referred to as non-readers, which may be that English is not their fluent, understood, or spoken language. I fall into this category, perhaps you do too, when we're going through our junk mail and all of a sudden we become non-readers. Nope, I can't read this. Nope, this looks like junk. Nope, time to recycle that one. So 3 types of readers. The first are non-readers. So simple words and photographs. Videos are ideal for capturing the attention of this particular reader. The second matches the first percentage, but is the opposite now because the average reader reads everything they can get their hot little hands on. They are incredible grammar checkers, proofreaders. Is that you? You need the facts, statistics, the details, the logistics, all of that. And you prefer more conservative layouts because you want the stuff, not the fluff. That's your reading style. And you will read everything when it relates to you. The majority of our readers today, that reading type, are 70 to 80% are skimmers. We love the bullet points. We love great graphic design. And if it's on paper, we love paper that feels smooth. We love that. We appreciate more progressive layouts. We appreciate the creativity that you use from your Canva. We love that. So our task in designing marketing is to meet the needs of 100% of these readers. And we can do that based on now we know who they are. Well, then let's take a look at the 3 stages of how they then read. Now, I've given well over 3,500 presentations on site in over 14 countries, plus virtual presentations since 2010. So you're talking thousands of presentations. And what I have noticed is that this next part, even though the research is by David Ogilvy in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man, I have found this to be true in every country and culture where I have presented. These 3 stages, this is a paradigm shifter. And we must take these 3 stages in this specific order in order for our marketing promotion to be effective. Are you ready? Okay, ready? Okay, I love this. All right. Stage one is called relevance. Relevance, the questions that the reader is asking is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it, click out, click away? Can I move to another web page now? Can I delete this email? Especially if it doesn't have an enticing, relevant subject line, those go into the trash. It answers the question for the reader of the WIIFM. You've heard that one before? Maybe in VPPR training? Yeah. What's in it for me? That's why it's so imperative that we watch the ratio of us versus them in our text writing. It has to be about them, not us. They don't care until they know that it relates to them. The time available, according to the research, is so brief. It's as short as 1 to 7 seconds. It's that fast. When we're driving down a freeway or an interstate and we see a billboard, it's about 2 seconds time, unless we're stopped in traffic, looking at that. Same thing on a web page, it's less than 2.3 seconds before we click away. Same thing with an email. If the subject line doesn't relate, yep, archive. All right, so stage one is relevance. It is absolutely critical, and it has a pyramid of priority of placement in the layout, whether it be vertical or horizontal. We'll go there in a second. Stage two, then, based on how well that we've met stage one with relevance, stage two is now confirmation. The reader is looking for, was I right? Does it relate to me? And we need to impress upon them, yes, it does. The time available here is longer. Now it's up to 90 seconds. So 1.5 minutes, go back to the reading types, because the avid readers are going to reread and see if they missed anything, or if we did in what that poster is about, then they are going to have some very important questions. Skimmers are very quick decision makers. Give them some bullet points, a nice headline, a call to action. They're already enrolling. All right, so confirmation that they're looking for more details to help them make the decision of, yes, this is a solution or will help get me closer to my desired outcome. See how all that relates from the first few slides? All right, so now stage three, we've got confirmation. We've helped them confirm that it's relevant. Stage three now is action, or the call to action stage. We do this in speeches too. There's perfect parallels between speaking and marketing like a pro. So in the action stages, the question that they're asking, we do the same thing, is what do I do now, or what do I do next? That call to action, or the next set of instructions, must be crystal clear. If there's any confusion, I saw this just a few days ago, a typo in an email address, that it was missing one letter in the name of the club, that email is not going to get there. The time available for stage three is ALAN, as long as needed, because of our three reading types. All right, so making sense here? These three stages must be in this order. Couple of big mistakes that happen here. The call to action is placed at the top of the layout. Join us at our open house. That's a stage three item in a stage one placement. It won't work for a lot of reasons. Another one is telephone number is included, but two numbers are reversed. A letter missing in an email address. The QR code is not aligned with what the bit.ly link is, or the bit.ly link takes you to someplace else where the last event had not yet been removed from the meetup or the Zoom registration link. All of those details. And people don't want to work hard for signing up for something, especially like this session. This session is complimentary to you as being a member of Toastmasters International. And today the competition isn't for money, it's our time. So let's take a look at, where do these elements get placed inside of a design? I love this part. Relevance is at the very top of the layout. Again, ideally up here would be a question that names a pain and hands it back to them in the form of that question, or what is the desired outcome? Confirmation is the largest section of the layout, covering all of the details, the facts, the statistics, those bullet points for those skimmer readers. And the call to action is placed down at the bottom. It's the same way when it's a landscape or a horizontal type of layout. You are welcome to capture a screenshot of this slide. whenever you start to design, consider the placement of the elements that are going to be going into that particular poster. This also translates into, again, the comments that get posted that supplement the poster on social media. All of this follows the format. Test this out for yourself, though. And I'd love to hear what the results are for you as by using this. Let me show you a couple of examples. So I'm from San Diego originally, home of Helen Blanchard. Matter of fact, as district governor, I followed only 2 people behind her, walking in her high heels, the very first female international president of Toastmasters International. So I developed this particular flyer, similar to what we are doing for today. So let's walk through those 3 stages. Relevance. So I'm a big fan of either asking 1 or 3 questions at the top in the relevance zone. These are pattern interrupt as well as identifying the relevance to the potential ideal audience. Confirmation, anytime we can add a how-to according to Meeting Professionals International. How-to is a #1 selling headline or subheadline because it relates to the reader. It infers this is how they are going to do something, which is, in fact, relevance. Then more, what's in it for me? Again, in italic font, bringing that forth. And this flyer is developed using TI branding with the exception of my signature logo there for Market Like a Pro, just like today's program. The bullet points, all of that, again, is more confirmation. This was for promoting specifically Speechcraft and how to boost our membership. And then the call to action with the date, the time, the information, registration, information about the speaker down there at the bottom. There you go. So everything was all there. Ann Golden is posting into the chat box additional marketing materials available from Toastmasters International that will supplement what it is that you're learning in this special workshop. So let's pull back then. Now that we've identified who our markets are, internal, external, our 3 stages, and our 3 types of readers, let's put this into practice as I've provided for you a special page inside of your handout as a worksheet. Here's what I suggest in how to use this is to photocopy as many of this page as you need for any events that you have coming up for your club, your area division, your district, or your own personal events or your own product and service. All of this, again, it transfers. The key point about this, and start up at the top and do only 1 worksheet per whatever event that it is going to be, and this goes with the planning for that particular event, is begin with the end in mind. Stephen Covey, who's the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that's the second of his habits. Dr. Covey was also one of Toastmasters International esteemed Golden Gavel Award recipients, which is the highest award we present to a non-member of the organization from leaders and communicators from around the globe. And I love this because begin with the end in mind. It reminds us to do exactly that. Who is the intended attendee? So over in the left-hand column, you would identify your market or plural. So who is your ideal audience or attendee for that specific event? This is not, let's say that if you're doing for your club meeting in general, great. So this is your regular club meeting. Who are your ideal attendees? Who precisely do you want to attract? Because you'll see some examples coming up where of hosting a special event at the location where my club meets, that we wanted to attract employees of that facility. Very specific. So who precisely do you want to attract? The only incorrect answers here would be everybody, anybody, everybody else. Okay, so let's not go there. All right. So number 2, what are their pains or their needs? Now, you can speak their language. Just as Mary was asking me at the Chamber of Commerce breakfast meeting, what are your greatest challenges? Well, then think that through. What are the attendee, their greatest pains or needs? What are their fears, their desired outcomes? And then what are the benefits to them to attend? Again, you're not competing with money. You're competing with their time, their energy. Begin with that end in mind. This will be a valuable worksheet for you. Match the message to that audience. So what are some of those needs? I'll get you started. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this slide, and I encourage you to add to this list. What are some of the desired outcomes that people want? We said greater confidence. It's right there. For me, it was providing effective feedback to my employees. Leadership managerial skills. I had no idea that I needed to be better with my time, task, and energy management. Ann Golden and I talk about this all the time. And meeting management, when we master the Toastmasters environment that we can practice staying on time with our meetings, we become incredible meeting manager facilitators. So you can add more to this list. It's something to get started though, because you can pull from this to pull into the marketing that you're creating. Onto the next page, I've created a checklist for you that goes along with the event promotion. So whether you are promoting your regular club meeting or a special event, whether it be an open house, a free workshop, whatever that it might be, even a contest, whatever that you're doing, again, this checklist goes together with the previous worksheet to help ensure that you have all of the details. Have you been looking at posters lately where it's missing something really important? The day of the week, the time zone, the end time of a program. Any of those that might be important to us, right? This checklist will help you make sure that you have all of the information that's going to be important for that particular, again, match the message to that particular audience. And the final page inside of the worksheet is a sketch sheet. And how I would love to see you use this is to actually take out a pen and that worksheet, start sketching in what goes where into the page layout, into the poster layout before you even walk over to the computer. And here's why. There's been brain testing done on this, that as soon as we go to the technology, our creativity kind of disappears. You've noticed that? Start by doing a small sketch first of what goes where based on the principles you've already learned of relevance. And for instance, I would put like a capital Q up there to name a question. And the best font for that question is going to be in bold italics, because italics font creates emphasis. Bold italics grabs attention and drives the call to action response. So by having the relevance and the call to action in bold italics, and generally preferably of the same color using our branding fonts, which I would recommend our maroon, then again, start drawing a sketch out of what goes where before you go over to your device, and really tap into the creativity of your brain, the ideas that you have. Print out a few of these and start just sketching around before you open Canva, before you go to a slide, before you go to whatever it is that you're going to be creating and using. And all of these, people ask me what software programs are best to use. Whatever you feel comfortable with. That's the answer, because you don't want to get stuck on learning the technology when you need to be producing something to get the marketing out there. So let's talk branding. And in my introduction, it was mentioned that I've been a brand ambassador since 2011. Yes, I think I go back farther than that, though. Being a marketing expert, I've always been watching and paying attention to the marketing. And when we have refreshed our brand and changed our slogans over the years, the decades, and the past 100 of them, then I've been paying attention. And you and I are brand ambassadors. It is our job to ensure, uphold, and support using the branding so that we are all speaking with one global voice. When you use the branding on your marketing, it supports me, it supports everyone all around the globe. So here's what happens is that clubs and districts get creative and they start creating their own logos. This is forbidden. This is an infringement on Toastmasters International policy. I know, and my club did it. And one of my districts is actually the worst at not using the branding, or that clubs are not being reminded to uphold the TI branding. So let's go ahead and revisit that. And here's the actual TI policy. You can pull it up inside of the brand portal. Can clubs and districts create their own logo, theme, and or tagline? The answer is no. They are not permitted to create their own logo, theme, or tagline. The only exception to this is district conferences, where in the spring, in US, it is a spring conference. It's the only annual conference that may have a theme that goes along with it, and the logo only specifically for that event called the conference. Clubs may not at any time create their own logo, their theme, or their tagline. We can use the globe. We can use, when we're promoting Speechcraft, use a globe with Speechcraft. Here's your District 38 Centennial logo. Yes, you can use those for any of your marketing. So then the question comes up, well, what happens if I remove the logo from my materials? Can I use different colors, fonts, and other elements? The answer is no. Even if, this is TI policy right out of the brand portal, even if a specific piece does not include the Toastmasters logo, the other guidelines for the fonts, colors, photography, style, etc. still apply and must be followed. We all need to abide by this because our voice cannot be diluted and confused. And no wonder that if something doesn't have our Toastmaster logo or the word mark on it, people get confused. If they can get confused, they don't buy, they don't attend to our whatever our event is. So here's some examples properly on the left, and here's some of those creative tweaks not to use on the right. When in doubt, use a Toastmaster globe with your club name under it. It's fine. And we also have color palettes. So with our color palettes, we have two new colors because of our centennial. We have black and we have and when I'm bringing out the happy yellow to show you that yellow in color psychology, I love this stuff. So color psychology, yellow, and is appropriately called happy yellow because it does. It creates mental stimulation and it wakes people up. It helps them feel better about making a decision, and it grabs their attention. So consider using more yellow, maybe not a full-on yellow background, but to use it for spot color to draw attention to certain things. There are cool colors and warm colors. So the cool colors, as we have here, are the true maroon and the loyal blue, and even the cool gray. Cool colors have a tendency to calm people down, which is fine. However, when we are marketing externally, consider boosting your use of the true maroon and the happy yellow in order to grab more attention of non-members. I could talk all day on color psychology. And use the photos. So for instance, I would get some ideas from the photos which are posted in our brand portal, but then I would have our club members actually take photos that we can use, because people want to see, well, they're already scared to come through our doors to begin with. Why not have photos that look like people they are actually going to meet? And if it's the gallery from your Zoom that you're using for your promotion, fabulous. It's real people. Get permission from your members in order to use them. All of these are stock photos with actually actors and models that were used for these, but use your people. Use your people. I love it when people show up and or I'll go to a meeting or a district and it's like, you're in the poster. Yeah, people love that. So have photos. Again, match the message to the messenger. If yours is a more social type of Toastmasters club, then have them where it looks like a social environment, like the one in the middle on the far right over here. It looks like they're shaking hands at a networking meeting. The question of a headline on that one could be, want to have more confidence at networking events, question mark. I sure could have used it. Could you? Yeah. What about giving a presentation at work? Fine, or any type of work environment. Match the message. Everything needs to be congruent. And it matters more in marketing that things are congruent and consistent. Here's our two newest fonts. So Corinthia, you're seeing in some of the slides here for this session. I like how casual and comfortable it feels, almost like handwriting, even though it's actually not, but it's a gorgeous, dignified font. The luxurious script was selected, I believe, because of our 100th anniversary, that it looks like you could use this for your club anniversary, for congratulations on Ann Golden receiving her third distinguished Toastmaster. I could see that in headlines, maybe Anne's name in luxurious scripts. So have some fun with the new fonts. Otherwise, Gotham and Myriad Pro are our main fonts. But if your system, Mac or PC, doesn't have those fonts, you can download the fonts for free from the TI brand portal. So TI has covered the royalties involved in that. All right, so bring your own people into it. So now let's get very specific then. Are we doing good? Yes? Yes? Are you loving this? All right, let me stop share for a second. All right. Are there any questions like are you oh, thank you, Jeanette. Okay, I'm getting hearts. Thank you very much. Let me pause for any questions here before we go into because I have more things to show you. All right, what questions might we have? Thank you, Anne. What questions? Great information so far. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. District 65's Public Relations Manager. Thank you. All right. You getting ideas. Marketing is educating for everyone. And now you're getting quite an education. Oh, thank you. Our chat masters
Ruby
are
has their
really-
hand raised.
Okay, who is it? Yes?
Ruby?
Yeah.
Hi, Sheryl. My name is Ruby and I'm from Toastmasters by the Pond. I'm a corporate club.
Okay.
So we use digital signage as one of our promotional channels. So we have TVs in the cafeteria as well as our coffee break rooms. So we're limited in terms of timing. What is your recommendation in terms of the number of words to show as it flashes quickly?
Five to seven would be ideal.
Words.
Words. And if you can, if there's a series of 3 or 4 slides of 5 to 7 words each with images on them, you are going to attract more attention.
I think in my company, we're only limited to one slide.
One slide. Okay,
Yeah.
then do not make it busy. And here's a really good way to check your design. After you've got it up on your slide, then take off your specs if you wear some. Kind of lean back and maybe squint. Because this will allow you to be more objective in what the design is. You're looking for white space. I'm going to give you some shortcuts called implied motion of what do people look at based on where it's in the layout and what it might be subliminally pointing to. So Ruby, stay with us here and let me go to some of these shortcuts for you, and then make sure to raise your hand again so that I can come back and see how you did with those ideas. Fair enough?
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And let's see, Farad, did you have your hand up? Did I see?
Yes. Since you mentioned psychology, I'm curious, which one is more relaxing to read? Like a up to down flyer or a left to right flyer?
Oh, well, there's a third option, by the way. It's called the Z, or in other countries, it's referred to as a Z, where the design is actually in a quadrant and your IV, that's a whole nother seminar.
I'm actually familiar with the Z for websites, but not for flyers.
Ah, okay. Well,
Oh.
and it definitely works in both horizontal as well as vertical as well as horizontal. So the
Okay.
Z ties in right there too. It does.
Thank you.
All right. So then again, keep in mind, who is it for? And what do you want them to do when they move through? And begin with the end in mind on that. What do you want them to do? So based on you want them to do whatever it is. So let's say attend your next meeting. Then build backward. I do a whole nother session just on this and building backward, that begin with the end in mind. What's the call to action down at the bottom? And then based on that, that's the action that you want. What needs to go into the details to help support that action? And then you actually write the headline last. A very different way of thinking, and it relates to how we prepare for presentations too, because speaking and marketing are perfect parallels. Isn't that interesting?
We have a question in chat from
Yes.
Ben. Which is more important, attracting new members or retaining existing ones?
May I say both?
Yes.
And here's why. Retaining existing ones, they're already familiar with our program. They already love the club. They've assimilated into the personality of it. We do need to keep them happy and infused, though, because if they are not growing, then they're not growing. We do want to continue attracting new members in order to stay healthy. So your question is quite valid, and we need to go to it from both perspectives on that. Really great questions. All right, so let's continue then, because let's take a look at then what are some of the ways that we can attract people into our club or our corporation. So Ruby, stay tuned. Hopefully you'll get some more ideas from this too. All right. So open house or a free seminar? I think it depends. These you are going to see District 38 provided, or I swiped them from Facebook samples. So here we go. Allison, I think you're here today. All right, so from West Shore Toastmasters, this is the standard poster that TI provides for us. I'm going to challenge all of us to use something more unique. And even though this is okay, we're not like feeling the pain. And for one thing, there's a before and after on each side, but the graphic doesn't indicate this is a before, this is an after, and that there's three, which may also visually be confusing. So let's see what else we can do to use our creativity and be a little bit more, stay in alignment with branding, be more creative, and meet people where they are. All right, so Lower Bucks, thank you very much. Marie, thank you, VPPR of the club there. I thought this was really creative. So we were just talking about branding. So this is okay to do. And there's only one modification that I'll make on this. Let me double check the layout. Yep. All right. So we have the logo in place. We have the name of the club. It is an open house. Okay. So describe what an open house is. So the doors open. Okay, fine. Light refreshments will be served. Okay. And then you tell me where it is. What can I expect? So for instance, an open house is most effective attracting potential members when we change the word open house to free seminar. Then people are justifying their time of, okay, then yes, I have time for a free seminar. What's a free seminar about? Is it something that I need in my personal professional life? Yes. What also works on this is that the spider is not dropping down from the TI logo. That would be an infringement. What could easily be done on this? Again, I'm going to suggest change from open house to a free seminar. You can still keep the join us if you dare. So you can have a little fun with the fonts, but change the rest of the fonts in the layout to the TI branding is what I would suggest. You do have a good beginning and end time there. This one, so looking to improve your public speaking skills, is your core grabber question. Consider taking it out of the rest of the block of the text and pulling it up to the top. And again, you might need to have a white background or kind of play with the design a little bit. Come visit us is about us. It could say, you are welcome. You are welcome. Oh, let's see. It's something, again, more reader friendly on that. And since the bold italic is the question, I would take the come visit us and the rest of the information out of the bold italic font. So I would do that. And I think that there was additional text which supported this poster. So good job on that. All right, positively charged. For one thing, I love the name of the club. I just do. All right, so this is where we want to watch the text, join this open house. If this is promoted inside the district, that makes this an internal invitation, which when we're having events such as this, we do not want other Toastmasters coming unless they are on the agenda to support the overall meeting. We want non-members to come to our event. This needs to be directed to external marketing, not internal. Makes sense? So this needs to be more external. All right, so something that we would change here, because districts cannot have a theme, then let's modify that to what are the benefits of attending. Ta-da! Okay, especially if there's a guest speaker, then tell me who that speaker is. And what am I going to gain from that speaker? Again, I'm looking for what my time is. Here's one that this is actually the after of a before and after makeover that I did for a club in District 5 back in San Diego. And let me point out a couple of things because the design before, nothing tied in, and the photo was someplace tucked down into the layout. All right, so a couple of things to look at here. Definitely use photos. So what if at your next meeting in person that you had a few people be the photographers for the meeting, and that before you use them in your publicity, you get their permission, and Toastmasters does have a video photo release that could be signed. Question up at the top, that ties back into, remember what that very first from West Shores. So the idea was using what that theme was for Are You Ready to Build a Better You? Well, then tie it in. If I'm answering the question yes, then now is the time, give me tick marks. So instead of bullet points, the tick mark or the check mark helps me establish relevance. I'm going through it mentally and I'm going, I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that. All right, then start building this week. Building ties into the building. So this is one of those, I call it a circle back. When the call to action ties back into the opening pane question or statement, it's a circle back. That's why world champion and award-winning contest speakers often win, because they're tied in together. Ta-da! That's why I'm giving you a little bit of tip here. Okay. The perfect parallels. All right, so here's another flyer that I designed. And after I pull this up, feel free to capture a screenshot of this. So this is one of my signature programs, Speak Like a Pro. You'll notice that my marketing is consistent and congruent. So remember when we were taking a look, here's a refresher. Stage 1 is relevance. Questions that name the pain, the challenge, the issue, or the desired outcome. This is an example of 3 questions in the relevance stage 1 area, stage 1 zone of relevance. Free seminar, not open house, free seminar, the date, the location. This is the one that I was saying that was held at the facility where my club meets. And then there's a headline that is going to help confirm that how it's relevant to them. Bullet points, who needs that? Skimmers, yes. The avid readers, they're saying, oh, good, and there's a chunk of text there about the speaker, blah, 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 because they're looking for, is this really worth my time? What does this speaker know about that particular topic that is going to help me? They're looking for what is in it for me. And down at the bottom then is going to be the call to action or the RSVP. So let me share with you the results. Okay, go ahead and capture a screenshot. You could model this. You could create a flyer, a poster, just following what you see here on the screen right now, and you will have amazing results in your next promotion. Are you getting some ideas? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, all right. Being a special event, a free seminar, we use this in my little club to launch an in-person speechcraft program. So a series 2 weeks later. Here's how you leverage if you're doing any type of special event, an open house, a free workshop, a free seminar, an introductory meeting, whatever that it is, after it, and you use this event to launch interest for something that they will join, as in a speechcraft series, 2 weeks later, no more than 2 weeks later. It could be the next week, but I find that people need a week in order to adjust their schedule if they're just hearing about this. I'll give you more tips on that. So we use this for the free seminar to launch a speechcraft series 2 weeks later that was held during the regular club meeting. Now, Ann Golden and I, we love tag teaming, presenting on how to market specifically speechcraft, and she does a dynamite program on how to conduct and coordinate. She's masterful at that. District 38, you've got a gem in Ann Golden. So the club provided snacks. There's nothing like free food that brings people in. It was promoted with this flyer throughout the building. So the entire hospital, the company mailboxes, we got permission on that. Email posted on bulletin boards around the hospital and in the local community. So we were angling for employees primarily of this hospital and members of the community. This was a community club, not a corporate sponsored employee training program. All right. So they're match the message to that particular audience. That's who this one was for. Here's the outcomes. We had 65 guests. Those are non-Toastmaster guests. We did not market this to other Toastmasters to come to this. We wanted specifically not yet members. So our potential members, 65 guests, plus 10 of us club members. Yeah, we were looking at losing our charter at that time. And one of the RNs, registered nurses, who is a member of our club at that time, VP of membership, that Mary said, if we don't revitalize our club, if we don't do some cardio resuscitation on it, we're going to die. And that was her professional opinion. And she was absolutely right. So we got behind it. From this free seminar, 14 non-members enrolled in the Speechcraft that would start 2 weeks later. This was in person. 4 to 5 more non-members enrolled at the series start because those 14 went back to work and they told everybody. Amazing. What would you do with 65 guests? You have something in place. The club was informed. They were ready to go. They were part of the program. There's more. What were the club results? 12 to 14 new members. And one member received his final project for his distinguished Toastmaster. It was the only thing that he needed. It re-energized the club. The members got to participate by giving the educational sessions. That evening, during my presentation and at the very end, I invited my fellow club members to stand, and each of them had a small stack of these flyers on nice paper. This is all TI branding using colorful. So you see the gradient rays, which were one of our branding. We still kind of use them. Some of us do, because it's very dynamic. It's very explosive that it works. They stood up and they handed out this enrollment flyer. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this one. It shows you what goes where, and now you know why it goes where, to help enroll people into the Speechcraft program. And as Ann and I can tell you that with the digital bundles now, it allows for 5 speech crafters or participants in each one digital bundle. This was right before we went digital. We had printouts. So we had purchased the sets of the printed booklets at that time, enough to accommodate 3 bundles. So we were prepared for 15, I think it was. And when the other group, then we were prepared. So per each 5 or each group, you can have 1 person receive their Distinguished Toastmaster project. So there's more on that. And Anne, I hope that you post into the chat one of the links to one of the recent workshops that you've conducted, because it's absolutely loaded. It's the best I've seen. That's why I absolutely support it. All right. So this brought in people. Okay. So here's a promotional flyer sample, and you may take another screenshot of this as well. So this is what we actually use to promote the event, which includes the series schedule. So with Speechcraft, and this is the fastest way, it's Toastmasters' #1 marketing tool to boost membership, is Speechcraft, which is our signature trademarked program. You must be a member of a club in good standing in order to host a Speechcraft, which is hosted by that club. And the individual who is a coordinator receives a credit toward their Distinguished Toastmaster. You have an option of 4, 6, or 8 weeks for your Speechcraft series. My club did a 6-week. This is a series, and everything is included in the Speechcraft Coordinator's Guide. It's really well done. So what do you do for those speeches? Well, you use the Better Speaker series set for those 10 to 15-minute educationals. I'm going to circle back to this, because even if you don't host a Speechcraft program, you could use this Better Speaker set for your special events. Let's take a look at some of those District 38 design samples. Yay! Thank you. All right. So these were publicly posted. All right. Amy Culbertson, thank you for this. And I thought, what feedback would I give for you? Well, first of all, I acknowledge your creativity. It goes to show you that yes, you can do something really simple with just a concept and have a large graphic. The only thing that I would change on this is to add a Toastmaster logo, remove the hyperlink because it's not going to go through from a poster. And let's see, I would probably, I'm tempted to put the, do you want to, I'm tempted to put the headline up in here in the negative space is where I'm tempted to put that. But otherwise I would say, have fun, make sure to ensure the branding. Princeton, you were fun to follow. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Princeton, you like to do things in capital letters. I'm going to suggest that you start doing things in upper lowercase, and it could be the fonts that you've selected between this one and the next graphic that do automatically go into all capital letters. Here's why. And like the topography of things, and this has been measured with brain waves and emotions and blood pressure, is that capital letters appear to be shouting at a person, and yes, it does raise blood pressure. So something good that you did here, again, not having the spider drop down from the Toastmaster logo, so you get extra points on that. Oh, I think it's really fun what you did with the Halloween on there. So I would say just take things out of all capital letters. So Princeton, thank you with that. All right, so here's another one. Again, all capital letters. Now be really careful with the purple because you can shift easily into our blue with gradient screens, still use the gold stars and be closer in alignment with branding. All right, so just again, those are just a couple of tweaks right there. So this one's fun. Voorhees, I'm not sure though if it's internal or external. I know that you're in Camden County based on what Rhonda had posted here. It's fun and it's lively. What is it missing? A Toastmaster logo. Mostly a Toastmaster logo. So you could have a little fun with this. That would be the one thing that I would modify straight away on that particular one. All right, positively charged. All right, Karen, you're here. Thank you, thank you. All right, so with this one, all right, you're following the branding. You're doing fine with this. Here's what I would suggest on this one. You're invited to experience Toastmasters. That doesn't tell me anything. So give me more here because am I going to experience communication? Am I going to experience leadership? Give me something that's really tangible. How about you're invited to experience? How about practice impromptu speaking? How about introducing yourself? Give me something that at this virtual open house, what exactly am I going to be able to experience? Because we have an experience. What if you were to remove positively charged, your club name from up there, bring it down and put a big headline up there and also move the logo down? So again, watching the external pyramid of priority. I do appreciate, thank you, that we received a copy of the newsletter too. So thank you. Here's one of those examples, Ruby, that again, what do you do for the monitors at your company where things can be posted? This is one where you take your glasses off or you lean back or you squint to see where your eye goes. All right, so if you did any of those right now, your eye is probably still circling because we don't know what to look at. This is kind of a combination of a 2, 3, and more kind of layout on that. So it doesn't work. What we want to do is to have very clear columns. The non-columnar is going to drive your avid readers crazy and they're not going to read a thing that's on it. All right, so here's one. This looked fun and had a lot of potential for being more fun regarding the district picnic. And let's see, so it was just last weekend. I hope you win. It looked like we had beautiful weather where you are. All right, let's do a couple of things. Make the event type larger. So if you look at this, the picnic is the smallest text on there. yet it's kind of important. All right. Switch the logo and the bubble image. Just reverse them. Put the logo over there on the left. This is internal. Follow the branding colors and gradients. The background isn't quite TI brand. And then replace the district logo down there and put some picnic artwork instead. The QR code is best placed at the bottom of the layout, always, always, never higher than the bottom of the layout. I know there may be a couple of exceptions, but generally not. And in the bottom right-hand corner, because most of us are right-handed, they can hold it up with their left and they can click the scan with their phone on the right. So I vote for bottom right-hand corner with the QR codes. I would also, because we have 4 generations in Toastmasters membership right now, is to make sure to include a short link. Go ahead and include that both in the artwork, maybe it's a bit.ly, as well as in the text that goes along with that poster. All right, so this one is for this particular branded series. Let's take a look at what we could do with that. So I would say it needs a Toastmaster word or logo. Let's replace the district logo there with the Toastmaster logo. There we go. Branding colors and gradients is off color right now, so it is not brand compliant. The ending time of the session, it starts at 7, but does it end? I would add bullet points to this, and it could be, you know, drive. What if Greg or the designer for this was to add how to drive club growth, how to boost, how to achieve excellence. So again, some bullet points on that instead of center text is going to be more attractive for our skimmer readers. And then which division? So Greg, I know you're division director, which division? Okay. And then ask a question of relevance up at the top to bring that one together. This one, all right. So I think, and thank you for promoting this. And Brahm always brings great content. I like the design of this. There's one tweak that I would do for it, and it's a free seminar. See where it says, here is what you will learn up here. It's too close to the headline. I would move it down and over to the left immediately above the tick mark bullet points. That's it. That's a tweak on that one. For this one, all right, so it's an internal regarding the incentive for open house promotion. Hey, you might want to take a screenshot of this one. So if you're not, go ahead. If you're not familiar with this reimbursement, then you definitely want to take advantage of this. And so I would just say it just needs a Toastmaster logo. Again, even though it's an internal, and the logo could easily go up there in the left-hand corner. I believe that there will be exceptions to this open house incentive if you were to modify it to a free seminar. I believe that that would be acceptable based on it is a special event. So there you go. All right, so this one, Be the Spark. What I like about this layout is that it has movement. Where it has free up here, that's called a tilt, which is one of the shortcuts in graphic design. And then seminar, so Anne, we would switch seminar over to one of our branded fonts, would be the only tilt on that. There's good movement, and this is a TI branded photo. Let's see, anything else here? The scan, I think we're okay. What you could do though is to switch where the scan is and the date, put an ending time on this, move these 2 burgundy blocks, take them out of the blocks, put them in burgundy in the middle right here, and pull the scan down to the bottom, because the scan could overlap. You can overlap the QR code on top of the left bottom edge of that oval with the photo, and that would be a really cool looking design. So you're good with that. Good bullet points on it. Definitely it works. So, whew, okay. You want to see some makeovers. All right, catch your breath. Catch your breath. We're doing great on time. Makeovers, again, as I said at the beginning, are often tweaks. They're not, oh my gosh, completely start over. So whenever I look at things, again, we're looking for the pyramid of priority. What was stage 1? Relevance. Stage 2? Confirmation. And stage 3? Action. They need to be put in that placement of priority for our promotion to work. These may or may not follow that format. Let's talk some makeovers here. All right, so this one is from Lower Bucks. Thank you. A couple of things that we could tweak on this. First, add a Toastmaster logo. There's plenty of space right there. And then add information for the club inside of the poster too. There you go. This one, all right, I believe, Young Mai, I believe that we have you in the gallery today. So thank you very much for submitting your open house flyer. And I like the marbled background. It could be considered acceptable based on it's the cool gray that is in our branding. What we do want to do is change the fonts to make sure that the type styles are in alignment with TI branding. All right, so here's what I'd like you to do, because I cut and paste. So make sure to look at the screen now. And then I'm going to show you the after. All I did was take the elements that were there and modify the fonts into branding. All right, so Long Mai, I'm going to go back. If you want to take a screenshot, here's your original. And if you're interested, go ahead, take a screenshot of this one. This is the before and after. Taking the same elements, just following the tried and proven what goes where and why type of placement. So there we go. Yeah, it looks good. This one, let's see well, it's missing the club name. So let's add a logo down here. A club name. There you go, Washington Crossing. Thank you. So you can do things like this, but make sure to include the Toastmaster logo and meeting time. Let's see, make sure to do your start and end time on that. This one could also be modified. Let's see, you could do the fall harvest up here. Everyone welcome. I would probably tilt that one, but see, they need to know, well, what it is first. Light refreshments will be provided. Change these other fonts to Toastmaster fonts, which is going to make the fall harvest even look cooler. Here's an example, a makeover from District 100 in California. It's a very, let's see, this is a Los Angeles, just outside of where Toastmasters originally started. As you look at this one, you might agree with me that it's busy because of the 4 photos. I'm not sure what to look at. My eye is going different directions. They are, however, good photos if you were to use just one to make your point. It's a new club launch. All right, so it just needed some tweaks, and here's what I did with it. I took the main question of what it is, who they serve, matching the message to that person, that group, put that into the headlines. This particular one, I did 2 questions that name the pain or the desired outcome in bold italics, in the happy yellow, against the maroon, which pops out, grabs attention, and you feel good about it. So Ruby, back to your question. You may do something very simple like this for the TV screens in the lunch area. One big capturing question, one great photo, club information, Toastmaster logo down at the bottom with when your club meets and what room inside of your corporation. Keep it simple, but make it impactful. Why would people, fellow employees at your company want to come to Toastmasters to boost their professional career? Do a list of questions of what's in it for them and create your poster there. So I've alluded to a couple of the design shortcuts. So let me give you a couple more ideas. Because what do you do if you don't have a lot of time, or things to watch out for in your design too? Because now we've identified our audience, we know what goes where and why, and now we're adding a couple more pretty important graphic design elements to it. District 1, Los Angeles. All right. So then this is a Speechcraft promotion. There's the relevance. Great. Do you want to become? That's fine. I would probably change that to tick marks instead. All right, and then I would remove, so I just removed join us for. Take that out. Speechcraft, great. That works fine. Confirmation, that's fine. Call to action down at the bottom. Yep, that's fine. All right, so what was missing over here? Add the time zone. And see this photo down here? Implied motion, we will look at whatever they're looking at, whether it be a cartoon, clip art, or photograph, or an image expressing direction. That's called implied motion. We'll look at whatever they're looking at. She's looking off the page. The one at the top is looking down. That's great because now we'll follow her eyes into the meeting situation. But now our eye goes off to the side and we're not reading anything to the left. So we just need to flip the photo. Ta-da! Simple tweaks. All right, Ryan, thank you very much from several of the samples that you sent. I think this is a great one and thank you for sharing it with us. So Ryan, I bet after this session, you're going to go back and tweak this a little bit because the website is a stage 3 item placed in a stage 1 area. All right. So then it could be that your logo and the district information, even though this is an internal, yes, this is an internal piece, that information can go down at the bottom because the most important thing is how to start a new club. And you could change that. And you've got the question right here. Ready to take your leadership skills to the next level? Question mark. That is a great kicker headline for inside the poster. All the same color though, so not mixing two colors for whatever that particular question is. All right, so a couple of great things about this. Thank you again, Ryan. All right, so this element coming in from the side, even though it ties into the block down at the bottom, implied motion is kind of bringing it in, but I'm not really sure what it's doing up there. So the blue in the background, it's okay, but the yellow right there, it competes for my attention. The angle of the scaffolding creates great implied motion to bring us back into the word start and to the registration QR code. Bingo. So well done. I would just kind of tweak this a little bit. And I think that what would be great for any of us is to go back to the samples that you've seen tonight and just do some tweaks so that those templates, those designs are ready to go, that you're inspired to do them. This next shortcut is called a vertical layout. And this one, when it is tilted, again, Ryan, thank you for this. This is called a vertical layout. And how it's done properly is if the words are tipped to a vertical reading, they go on the left that reads bottom to top. If it's on the right side of the layout, then it reads from the top to the bottom. You may want to capture a screenshot of this one just to capture the concept there. Yep. Good stuff. I love graphic design. Hopefully you'll have fun with it too. So here's a modified of the vertical plus a straight over and some beautiful drop shadow work behind it. I would have probably made the information about the speaker much smaller, and people want to know, what are you going to be speaking about? They do. You have abundant free resources. Wow, wow, wow. All right. So remember I had mentioned earlier about the Better Speaker series set. And thank you, Anne and team, for putting information into the chat box regarding this. There are all of these topics. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? Is that 12 topics of these? They are designed as 10 to 15-minute educational speeches to be given at your club. So what are you doing for your open house or that free seminar or the free workshop? You could take 1 or 2 of these, have your club members present, get credit for their Pathways project at the same time, double dipping. Use these to bring in non-members as well as to infuse your current members bin to retain the members you currently have, as well as to bring in new members on this. Take 2 or 3 of these for that particular special event. Download these for free for the zip download. And even though, yes, for Speechcraft, yes, for any time to invigorate your club or a special event. They come loaded with your PowerPoint slides and your trainer curriculum guide. If you want to become a professional trainer or speaker, this is what you need. This is like a train the trainer. You're all ready to go, and it's free. So you want to download. So I have a couple of questions for you, and then we'll open it up for some questions. Please comment in the chat. What ideas did you gain from this workshop that you will use for promoting your club and events? What ideas did you gain from this workshop? And hopefully you took some notes. How many pages of notes? I know. And we will be posting this video. You do want to save the chat at the end of this session too, because of all of the additional links. And the second question that we have for you is, what groups or organizations do you know of that could benefit from conducting a Speechcraft program? wow, I wished I had started so much earlier than what I did. What if you, for the Chamber of Commerce, that you did a 6-week speechcraft program outside of your regular club meeting with the invitation for them to join your club after the series for small business owners or people like me that needed to know how to stand up and introduce myself, or small talk for networking sessions, or if you're thinking about that people at your work could use a crash course or a fast track, a jump start on how do you give impactful debriefings in 5 to 7 minutes. Invite them into the club, have a 4 or 6 week speechcraft program where they get to practice that. Amazing. And one of the educational sessions could be, how do you design effective slides? You could do sessions on running online programs, whether it be GoToMeeting or Cisco WebEx or Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and do training sessions on that. And you could match the message right to who would be attending and tailor your speechcraft program for it. So bring those ideas together. And what ideas will you be able to use? What ideas will you be able to use? So as we bring that all together in this special workshop, we've taken a look at our 2 markets, internal and external, who our readers are, how they like to read, what gets placed where and why. You'll never look at a piece ever the same way again, which means you'll never design a piece ever the same way again either. And I challenge you to use the sketch page inside of the handout and start using it before you even go over to your computer, and really draw out those ideas before you open Canva. All right, so then I'm browsing our chat here. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you. Please make sure to save the chat. Thank you. Can you use a child on the flyer? Thank you. If you have permission from the parent to do so, I would be careful with that. If it is a program for youth leadership, it may very well be appropriate. It may be that that group provides you photos that have been given permission from that association. Otherwise, I would be really careful because of privacy. I would be careful with that. And it is about the audience. Thank you for that. It's about the audience, not the club. Yep, true. Thank you, Sue. Good to have you here again. The pyramid priority. Thank you. All right. Oh, good. All right. So thank you. These are the things that you've learned. Oh, I appreciate that. 3 types of readers. All right. Ask a question at the beginning. Matter of fact, let's get ready, if we could, Zoom team, of what questions might we have that we can answer. We still have a couple minutes left. Thank you for the overview. You're welcome. All right, so who could use this? Thank you. Academics, college students. There is an MBA program at San Diego State University with ongoing speechcraft programs specifically for them, and there is a waiting list to get into those. Young professionals, thank you. All right, so the 3 stages of relevance, confirmation, and the call to action. Thank you. Rick, thanks for joining us from Wisconsin Club. Thanks. Inmates in prisons. There was just a question on Facebook the other day, and I created, when I was district governor, District 5 San Diego, we had a maximum security prison in very South San Diego, and the warden heard me speak at a State of California event, came up to me and asked me if I would present a communication skills course for his community. He didn't say inmates. I said yes before I knew. Anyway, I still stayed yes. We had 10 members of our Toastmasters in District 5, all men, escorting me to go in, and we served over 30 inmates, and it was transformational for both them as well as our Toastmaster team. So yes, you can. Yes, you can. Good. Okay. More about them.
Do
Oh,
have a
thank you.
question,
Yes,
Cheryl.
go ahead.
What, from Ben again, which is more important for a club to focus on, improving the quality of its meeting or marketing the club effectively, although they are neither mutually exclusive nor in conflict? He has those questions.
Yeah, I love it. And Ben, you're spot on again. So both are equally important. We need to focus on improving the quality of our meetings. So it may be that you do moments of truth. It may be that you start doing some of these programs to boost up the quality of your meetings, and please bring the fun in. You know, Ralph Smedley, our founder, on our 100th birthday today, is often quoted by saying that we learn best in moments of enjoyment. So he actually said we learn in moments of enjoyment. Some of us added best over the past few decades. Anyway, we need to have, and we need the fun. Fun really helps the learning. It's been scientifically proven. So yes to both, Ben, improving the quality of the meetings and marketing the club. Let's start with the quality first and then market the club effectively. Consider hosting a speechcraft program that raises the bar for everyone. Oh, Ben, I hope you run for higher leadership. I just do. Thank you. Other questions? Okay. All right.
Yes, Farad, he says, do you provide a workshop or have YouTube videos on color psychology? Do you recommend a book or a speaker who is a subject matter expert in color
I love it.
psychology?
Thank you. Great question. Let's see. On my YouTube channel, I think, Anne, are we putting that channel into the chat? My YouTube channel is loaded with full-length programs specifically for Toastmasters on marketing, on speechcraft, on how to become a professional speaker, on how to earn the accredited speaker program. One of the noted researchers that I often quote and published in my book is Jan V. White. It's pronounced Jan, but it's spelled with a J. Jan, middle name V, period, White. And if you were to Google anything about color psychology, you will find fascinating research regarding time of year, industry, age, gender, industries, farming. Just Google color psychology. And whoever was in sales, I think that was Joe, that John was talking about sales for his industry. You can get into the color psychology specific to those industries as well. Amazing research on it.
Excellent.
And
Thank
also,
you, Cheryl.
you're welcome. And trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Oh, good. And thank you. All right. So we have images. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you from the brand manual. I greatly appreciate that link. Make sure to save the chat. If you're not sure how to do it, go with me into the chat up to the top of the box. I'm doing this right now with you. The three little dots next to Market Like a Pro with Sheryl Roush. So the three little dots right there, click Save Chat, and it will save it to your system. Wow. Wow. So this has been quite a fusion, hasn't it? And
Yes, it has.
a visual special workshop. So there you go. It's been my privilege to serve you, to our fellow members. And by using the skills that we've learned in this workshop, they are tried and proven. They've been around for nearly 100 years. Let's take them into the next 100 years with us. That as we boost our membership and we stop being one of the best kept secrets, let's let the world know of who we are and how they can benefit. Because as you and I join Toastmasters for whatever those reasons or desired outcomes, there are millions more who need what it is of how we have benefited from this organization. And that would make Dr. Smedley smile from ear to ear and year to year. Back to you, Ann Golden.
My God, everybody, you have to come off mute.
That was
This
amazing.
was a phenomenal presentation. Just shows her love. I am so appreciative of her coming back the second year in a row. This time she did marketing like a pro. Last year she did the speechcraft marketing. She is just phenomenal. And she is my new best friend in Toastmasters and a mentor. I just love her to death. And
I'm
I
a little
hope you
jealous,
found,
Anne. I'm a little jealous.
you should be. She is.
And
Oh
we
my
have a winner.
goodness.
We have
Oh.
a winner. We have a winner for the club hour consultation.
Who is that?
It is going to be, so all clubs that submitted from District 38 Club. Sorry, Ryan, but you're a winner anyway. All right. So District 65. So all the clubs that entered, I kept tabs of who they were. You saw them when it said submitted by. So thank you, first of all, for the samples and allowing us to use them as educational purposes for all of us. The winner of the 1 hour club consultation with me, worth $300, totally tailored for your club, is the North American Chinese Bilingual Toastmasters Club. Young May, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. We will set that up and you get the recording and everything from any samples. So thank you, everyone.
Oh
Yay.
my goodness. Wow, just phenomenal. Come off mute and let's hear a woo woo or whatever you want to do. Send hearts. I mean, yes.
Wonderful.
Awesome, phenomenal.
Woo!
Thank you so much,
My
Cheryl.
pleasure. Go out
From
and
the
use
bottom of my
this.
heart.
And then pop me a note. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. I think my contact information is I want to see what you do with this, please. I mean, this, 50 or 60 hours, actually more, went into this particular presentation. There's no
Yes.
payment. I do this out of the love of my heart. Please show me what you do. Send me your before and afters. That just really, that makes it worth it for me. I'd love to see it. Thank you.